All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Elev8ed Podcast. This is episode 9. We have a very special guest. Who are we looking at down there, X?
This is our friend Jay Cruz joining us from California, from Sacramento, correct?
Sacramento, California.
Right. What's
Very
up, everybody?
nice.
What's going on?
Well, cool. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Jay?
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate this. And my name is Jay Cruz. I'm from Sacramento, California. I am a music producer slash artist. I do music in Spanish and English, urban, so reggaeton, hip hop, trap, like that. And I like to fuse sometimes, genres like in Spanish and English, Latin. But yeah, that's what I do. I've been doing it now for a very long time, since high school and all throughout college, and now in my professional, life now.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
That's cool, man. I saw that on your website. You have that you do Latin trap. What got you into that?
Oh man, okay, so I'll be honest with you. I think the genre just kind of cut up to what I was doing already. So now you have artists like Bad Bunny and Noel, whatever. And shout outs to them. They're great. But it was just a natural thing for me to do music in Spanish throughout high school and college, to where I would use hip hop, or like trap beats and rap over them, or try to like rap. I rap sing. I don't know what to call it. Just kind of vibey. And I would just do that, throughout high school. So I have songs like, of course, the sound is a little older. You can tell like the instruments are a little bit different. But it's that same style from back then, and the genre just caught up to where I guess it's just called Latin trap. And I'm like, all right, I guess I do Latin trap because that's what
that's what it evolved into, right?
Yeah, so pretty much. Yeah,
it's nice when you find out that a genre catches up to you rather than you trying to invent yourself into a genre.
Yeah, no, for sure, you're right. And by that time, you just kind of master the craft of how the placement of the instruments are gonna go. How to write the verses or the hook or whatever it's gonna be. So I mean, it's just fun. It's just fun, and then you get to kind of test the waters with. Maybe adding like live instruments. Some of my songs, I have like live guitars, sometimes live drums. I'll put them here in the studio, and just add those elements that give it that extra crisp.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, can I make a suggestion? Can we maybe like hear a 30-second clip of a song real quick, so that way everybody that's not familiar just has an idea of the type of music that you produce?
Sure. Let's see.
We probably should have done the same for our previous guest. Like
we should have.
Yeah, out the gate.
Because he didn't really play anything, so we don't know what he was all about music wise, except with the stuff that he told us.
I don't expect our audience to go out and do research ahead of time.
No,
come on.
all they want to do is play video games.
It's definitely loading up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, you're fine.
Let's see.
I'm done. You keep playing games. You keep on saying things, but nothing ever changed. You know I wanted you to stay. Never wanted you to ever go away. But now I don't want you back. 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 I ain't tripping. 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 I ain't tripping.
And I guess the Latin part of it is when it goes into Spanish. It's the only thing. Same thing.
Okay.
Keep on saying play girl and mad at you ain't forget things, but I wanted you to sit your way. But now, yeah, I know they get up. Yeah, I know they get up.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know they get up. Yeah, know me, but I know me, but I know me, but I.
That's nice, man. See, I think it was Smash that said the only X you need in your life is explicit expert. No time for those other X's, man.
He's not wrong.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the kind. That's just one random song I saw right there, ready to load. But I love doing music. That's a little more honest. I of course got in that phase of let's talk about whatever doing crazy things or whatever. But I'm like, nah, let's do some honest music, man. And I think a lot of the times as guys, it's hard to talk about what we go through with our experiences with women. You know what I mean? It's a little bit hard. Guys like guys we like to put on a front sometimes of, oh, I'm hard or this or that. But at the end of the day, guys are always gonna fall for somebody, and they're gonna go through things. Most of the time, we're gonna get our heart broken. So, you start learning, and what did Drake say one time? He goes, "My album goes platinum because all the guys play in the car by themselves." Right? So,
for real.
So I mean, that's just the kind of music. Of course, I like doing party music too. But a lot of the times I've been lately I've been releasing a lot of music where it's just a little bit like my experiences or somebody else's experiences that I just turn into music. That's it. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, the first song I ever heard from you was "Me Pertenece a Mí."
Jay Cruz on the Cuando cierras los ojos piensas tú en mí y en la noche cuando la luna te ve dormir soy yo el que está en tus sueños haciéndote sonreír sé que él te ama y que te hace feliz pero cuando cierras los ojos piensas tú en mí y en la noche cuando la luna te ve dormir soy yo el que está en tus sueños haciéndote sonreír. Sabes bien que me perteneces a mí. Sabes bien que me perteneces a mí.
Oh, Me Perteneces a Mí, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But was that was the first song you ever released, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of?
The rebrand. Yeah, kind of. It was the first song in a very long time that I released.
Okay. Was that something that came from like your experience? Because I mean, I listened to the song and it's was that something that you went through?
A little bit. It's always like a hybrid, right? It's like I'll start making music. It's a little weird. It's like I see like the music in my head before I even finish it. Like I know how I want it to sound or the type of tempo, the vibe, right?
Yeah.
And I start finding the chords on the keyboard, and I lay out the track. Once the track is laid out, I'm like, all right, the song has to be, it has that type of vibe of like Latin trap, right? It's just trap, just in Spanish. And then the lyrics, the Me Perteneces a Mí, it's a song, it translates to You Belong to Me. But I'm like, all right, what do guys go through that is not really spoken about? It's not cliche either, right?
Yeah.
But it fits the vibe. So when I wrote that song, you picture someone, when you see a girl that you used to be with, maybe like in a long relationship, and you see them, you can tell that they're like in a new relationship. The guy may be a great dude, but maybe they're not happy. Or like you know that they look happy, like how they actually look when they're happy. So that's just where the song came about, and it's crazy that I mentioned it because a lot of the guys were like, hey dude, I went through this, like, or it's kind of crazy. So that's the kind of vibe that I go for sure when making music, and some lyrics are inspired on experiences that I went through, or maybe my friends have gone through that I've seen.
Okay.
Things like that. But yeah, that's crazy. And I say the first song, quote unquote, because that's the first music video that I put out in a project that I put out in a while. Like I was doing a whole bunch of other music, But I just kind of wanted to rebrand how I was putting out music too. So everything from my logo to the website to the YouTube channel to the Instagram, just a complete rebrand to
Yeah.
really show like the full scope of what I can do. Before that, a lot of people thought I was just like a DJ or I just made beats. I wanted to combine all like, yeah, I DJ, but I also produce, but I also write lyrics. So I had
Yeah.
to really like stop and rebrand everything to bring it back, bring it forth to the forefront.
Thanks, man.
So yeah,
You're an artist through and through. You're an artist. Whatever
Yeah.
it is you're doing, your artistic abilities show. I think that's fantastic.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
So how long have you been doing this professionally?
Let's see. Since I guess professionally, since I was 18, that's actually how I got to college with music. And I say 18 because when I was 18, I got on Univision, which is the Spanish, channel, Univision.
Con Jay Cruz, bienvenido, ¿cómo estás?
For the very first time, because of my music, they would like show like an old video that I had, and they talked about Sacramento State gave me a full ride scholarship for business because of my music, because of what I was doing in high school, and I say that's when it was like professionally, like
That's when it got real.
Like, yeah, the quality had to be high.
Yeah.
The expectations had to be high. The quality of the song had to be up there, and I started being more careful on what I was putting out as well, like making sure that it wasn't like something crazy. Like at the time, you're talking about 50 Cent, G Unit, like
Okay.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't talk about crazy things like that. So I was just very focused, like I was telling you guys earlier. Party music was like my focus then because I was in college. So
yeah,
makes sense. Like, you're still being honest, still being
okay.
true to who you were at that point.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. And so yeah, I mean I think that's when it started, like 18, and then as we progressed and and grew and then also started learning a little more business of the actual business. That's when it took off a little more. Yeah.
So you actually read that you actually went to school and to study in business, right? That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
In 14, huh?
How was that experience? Was it hard?
Nah, it was fun.
Really?
Fun. It was fun because I could, props to everyone that has to pay for school. I was fortunate enough to where music got me a full ride for business.
Yeah.
And I actually had the choice. Sac State was like, do you want the full ride in music or do you want the full ride in the business? But once I started, I could not like just switch.
No switch. Yeah.
Yeah, no switching. That was the hard part.
Damn.
A lot of people were like, let me find myself in college. I couldn't find myself.
That's rough.
So I chose business because I'm like, if music doesn't work, you can always use business, right?
Correct.
And I just chose that, and it was fun because school was paid for. Even though I had to keep the scholarship, I had to keep a minimum 3.0 in college, which is a little difficult. But it gave me the chance to really start expanding and learning, testing the waters, how to sell to a diversity spectrum of people, a diverse spectrum of people. I'm originally from South Sacramento. It's a little bit more, a very low income over here. So I was used to, being around a lot of minority community. It's a minority community.
Yeah.
So getting to Sac State, you see all types of backgrounds and ethnicities and different things that everyone likes. It was a culture shock, but it was a good culture shock because I got to meet people, learn different things, learn different markets, and how to sharpen my skills when it came to communicating to the public. Right. So it was fun. It was fun times, definitely. Yeah.
Dude, I think that's amazing to hear somebody who had the opportunity to pursue college because of their music. I don't feel like that's a story you get to hear about very often.
Not
Usually
really.
people, if they're going to pursue music via an education, they have to struggle or come from, you know, a much better environment and come from money. Like the only person I know that went to Berkeley, he grew up very different than I grew up. To hear about your story, man, that you had an opportunity to go to college and have a full ride because of what you do, and to hear that you made the decision to focus on business, like that makes sense. Having an education in music, of course it's helpful, you know, the opportunity to study, whether it be music theory or music production, like there's a lot of elements. But business, like if you're going to make music a career, you need to know how to run your business. You can rely on a manager, and chances are you're probably still going to work with a manager, but having a background in business is going to prevent you from getting fucked, like, or at least reduce the risk of you getting fucked, because it's still going to happen from time to time. And it's going to help you understand the marketing side better, which clearly you have a really good hold of, because the portfolio that you present is very professional.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right, and that's when we see people like you know, the late Nipsey Hussle, you know, people like him that maybe they didn't go to college, but they understood that understanding the business is honestly the most important part of quote unquote making it, right? Whatever people may consider making it. I mean, you've got to know how to sell the product, whether it's a song, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a, and now with streaming, right? I mean, Spotify just gave what's his name, Seth Rogen, one of the biggest deals in podcast history, if not the biggest, to get him off of YouTube and completely devote what, like 10 years to Spotify for a podcast. You know, but learning that business, nobody tells him kind of what to do, right? He runs his own business, he understands it. And from a business perspective, you're right. I mean, I've been in talks with other people before about, you know, let's come into partnerships or whatever the case may be, like a deal. But I'm an advocate for being independent, because then you get to run your own platforms, run your own business, make decisions on what you want or what you don't want to drop as a song. Because then when you go to a company, they make decisions on your art. And when people start making decisions on your art, they don't really understand your art. And then that's when you get like the one hit wonders, or people, you know, artists are not happy. They start being all douchey because they're upset or whatever the case may be. And, you know, success is happiness, you know, and when you're happy doing what you love and you understand how to make a profit off of it, but without selling out, what people call it, you know, sticking to your art, doing what you love, it pays off. It pays off, you know. And just for background, I do music professionally. I run my platforms, like, you know, my streams and whatever the case may be. I perform, throw events, but I also use my marketing background in my professional life.
So prior to us going live, when you were telling us that you made a conscious decision to step back and hold off on releasing any new music because of the state of affairs across the nation, like this was something that not just as an individual living in California or as an individual living in the US, like you're even more connected to this because you're an individual who's like really in the middle of everything then.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, when people were watching, somebody asked me, I wish I could share those DMs. I was kind of crazy, but they're like, oh, you know, you claim to be all, you know, part of the you know, the hood or whatever. We don't see you posting anything. And I literally replied with a video. And I was like, well, it's because I'm here. And I turned around and you could see like the military here, military there, police officers with their, and it was at the Capitol. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't post about it because I'm literally here. So I apologize.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, and that's what tells you, in the social media, you post what you want people to see. But you know, being in, like you said, in that environment, even though I'm not part of the you know, the issues, you're still seeing, not issue, but part of all the craziness that's happening, you're still there, you're seeing it firsthand what's happening. And I'll tell you right now, walking down Capitol Avenue, which is normally a very peaceful walk downtown Sacramento.
Yeah.
And walking down there and seeing the military and the police officers and war gear, it's a different type of like experience when you're like, what the hell's happening? You see all the businesses boarded up. And this is like at 2 p.m. in the day. This is not even like during the protest time, like at night.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely it's been quite the experience. Definitely another reason why I had to kind of step back a little bit from promoting my music and stuff. I've been helping in the back end, of course, and yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy times, but music is definitely, like we were talking about. It gives people a refreshment of life, right? Like a breather. It connects us. Music, honestly, I really think connects us and breaks those barriers of, racism or whatever the case may be, because it just kind of touches our soul, right? So
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that, I've heard both of these sayings that music and love, either or both, is the universal language. And I think that whether you're saying music is the universal language or love is the universal language, I hear the same thing, man, because music is love. It's passion. It's what a person pours out, and it's what oftentimes it's the deeper sides of you that you don't show otherwise. And then when even as a non-artist, right, just as a consumer, when you hear something that you connect with, it usually allows you to express that side of yourself that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And it doesn't matter where you're from, dude. I remember growing up and listening to different types of music with languages that I didn't speak or understand. But if the song was about releasing anger, I got it. If the song was about heartbreak, like you just feel it, and you're like, I don't know why I'm crying. I can't understand anything this dude just said, but you feel it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about, And
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, when emotion is present, no matter what language it is, I think we feel it. The other day, I was watching the movie Apocalypto with my girlfriend, and that movie is not even in Spanish. It's just like in dialect, right? In like an indigenous language.
Yeah.
But the emotion is so intense that you just know what they're talking about, what they're feeling. That when the guy's full of fear, when the guy's running away, I mean, you start really understanding. And I think music's the same way, right? It's just an emotion. It sets a vibe. It sets some just I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. I really believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude. Now that you brought that movie reference up, it reminded me of my mom, because like she would always watch The Walking Dead. I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but she wouldn't miss an episode, and like she knew exactly what was going on in every episode and who died and who was mad at who, but she didn't understand what they were saying, which I thought was hilarious. and it just ties back to what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
DJ, does your mom only speak Spanish?
Yes.
And was she
only speaks Spanish,
okay.
and she watches it in English. Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. But they get it, right? Like you understand because of what's happened with the emotions.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
It's the art,
honestly,
man.
I think that's why Latin music is doing so good right now worldwide. That's why I think I really, really believe that's why like Bad Bunny and Ozuna and all these guys are killing it, because they put so much, and the producers too. Shout out to like Tiny, and there's a producer named Tiny who he produces for Bad Bunny. But the emotion that they put in their music, I really think can be felt, like at an international level.
Yeah.
Where if you find it on YouTube, kind of like, like X said, if you may not understand what they're talking about, but you can tell if it's like a sad song or if it's a happy song, or like some years back, I don't know if you guys remember that Brazilian song, the dun 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 dun. I forgot how it went, but it was like this song that was like at the club. What the hell was it? Mosa, na 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 na.
Yep.
Oh yes. Coming back to me now. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
In like Portuguese, and I didn't know for the longest time what the hell is he talking about. But
Exactly.
It was a good vibe song, and you just want to play the hell out of it. Right? Yeah. Yeah, even for video games, for everyone that's out there gaming and stuff, I mean, a lot of thought goes into the music in the background because that sets the mood. You know, if it's gonna get intense or something, you know, the music changes and it gets you all nervous, whatever the case may be, right? If you
Yeah.
like made it or whatever, if you achieved whatever you had to achieve in that video game, then it's like a triumph type of vibe with the music in the background. And yeah,
He
you
gets
guys
it. He gets
you're
it.
right.
Yep. I mean, that's what I've been saying for a long time, man. When people ask me what I'm about, like the backbone of what I do is music. And so even now where like my guitar in the back, I don't play it as often as I like to. I don't produce. I haven't produced anything in probably a year and a half or 2 years. But the movies I watch, like I'm gonna pay attention to the music that's in the trailer. I'm gonna pay attention to, you know, how it makes me feel. I'll watch movies about music. The games that I play, the music is one of the first things that hits you. And no matter what it is, music is what drives me. Some of my best moments in life have been centered around music, whether it was a song playing in the background that just like sticks in my head from when I was 8, or you know, some concerts where I had just like the most amazing times, or sitting down and watching a movie that just had a killer soundtrack.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
always music.
Yeah, no, you're right. If you guys ever get a chance, watch the behind the scenes, or sorry, the making of like Black Panther. And I think
Okay.
Genius, like the channel on YouTube, Genius, I think they made like an episode just on the producer, but it's also part of like the actual, making of Black Panther. And the guy who like the main producer for the movie, the soundtrack, he's also the guy who made that Childish Gambino song that doom 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 doom. Uh, uh, Jesus Christ, I can't remember the song of the lyrics, but he sings like in a very high pitched voice, like
Redbone.
Oh, yes,
Redbone.
yes, yes,
Damn,
yes.
I suck with titles. I suck with names.
Yeah.
That's one thing about me. I cannot remember names to save my life.
So
I'm the same,
Redbone.
dude. Don't
So
worry.
the guy who produced Redbone produced or of course there was different producers, but orchestrated the whole Black Panther soundtrack. And he goes into how they went for like 6 months all around Africa to different like countries, even like chilled with tribes and stuff like that. Like this like African artist from like in Africa let him go on tour with them, and he got to see like the different styles of music that they had, the different instruments, and that's how they made Black Panther soundtrack so epic to the point where whenever T'Challa walks into the scene, you hear that or like a weird drum sound where it's
Yeah.
like very like royal. He learned that literally there, and like, I guess it's like a version of a talking drum. But so whenever T'Challa walks in, there the guy who like the expert drum player, I guess,
Yeah.
is literally saying T'Challa with the drums. That's what that sound is. The T'Challa, or
Okay.
like all echoed out. It's crazy. It's just insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I so somebody may end up correcting me on this because I don't know for sure. I read through part of an article, but if I remember correctly, I think that Disney is actually in the middle of locking down Beyonce for like a 3-movie deal, following up, I think, with what's going to end up being Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Beyonce as an artist, like I don't vibe with Beyonce or really with Jay-Z, surprisingly, but I appreciate and respect what she does as an artist and what she does as a businesswoman, like the way that she goes about it, and then locking her in or anything that has to do with Marvel and getting her to help out with the music side of it. Like I know that that's going to be phenomenal. Like that's something when I started reading about it, I was like, dude, that's fantastic. Like it just makes sense to me, and I know that she's going to bring an element to the movie that I will appreciate, because her music, it's not just songs, and there's so much of her music that you're not going to find on the radio, even though you will find a lot of what she does on the radio.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I think that her music will lend itself very well to the Marvel's universe. And I think that's gonna, honestly, I'm expecting it to make me go back and revisit some of her work that maybe I didn't get into whenever I first heard it.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up because I agree with it. I'm a big Beyonce fan, huge. I really admire her talent. She's not just a singer. She's very talented at singing, like, naturally. But I really hope to God that they don't give her Storm. And I know that's controversial. That's gonna stop a lot of people right in their tracks.
Yeah.
But only for one reason and one reason only.
Let's hear it.
I think that Storm is gonna be. It's one of those iconic X-Men characters that I can see coming back over and over and over and over for the next maybe 5 to 7 Marvel movies, like little cameos here and there. And I don't know if Beyonce's ready to commit that time because everyone that's committed to Marvel movies, I don't know if you've noticed, first and foremost, their Marvel contracts are crazy. Like they can't do a lot of things that, and especially now that they're with Disney. So if she locks that part down, I just hope that she understands the commitment that being Storm is going to entail.
Dude, so I'm so glad you said that because like that tells me so much about who you are. And I mean, so for instance, Hugh Jackman did, I don't even know how many appearances as Wolverine, and Storm is an equally iconic character who just hasn't had the opportunity to become as iconic in the movie universe, whether it was with Marvel or with Fox. But her role is extremely important. And if the rumors are true and she gets introduced in Black Panther 2, dude, I'm hoping that whoever is playing her is in it for the long haul, RDJ, like it doesn't matter who you are. When you get casted, I trust that the casting crew is going to do their damn job and you're going to be right for it. And part of being right for it is that you're going to show, our younger generation as they grow older that this is who the character is. Don't swap it out 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I agree, and that's my biggest worry. Just because you're right, and especially like with Fox, right, when they did that X-Men movie and Halle Berry was Storm, it was cool because she was kind of, even though we know who that is, she kind of played a background character kind of. But if they introduce Storm in Black Panther 2, that means they're gonna go based off the comics where T'Challa marries Storm, which means she's gonna be an iconic character. So I'm like, man, I don't know if Beyonce's ready. I mean, she would do great, but is she ready for that commitment? Or here's another, I guess, controversial topic. What if Marvel gives it to, especially during these times, I hate getting all political, to a maybe not as well known but very talented actress? You know what I mean? Someone that deserves, because Beyonce is established. We know it's going to be a hit if she becomes Storm.
Yeah.
But if they give that role to someone who has dedicated their life, or maybe hasn't gotten that shot, but fits the part perfectly as Storm, and then Marvel creates an iconic character, but also an iconic, powerful actress. Think about that. Because T'Challa,
what you're saying. Yeah,
like Black Panther, he was a great actor before Black Panther. I mean, what he did 42. He played like James Brown and the James Brown movie. All these iconic characters, but he didn't blow up to where it was iconic, like Harry Potter iconic. Until he became T'Challa. To the point where he even said, right, like, I'm tired of doing the Wakanda on the street. But it's like that level of iconic that, imagine if like an unknown young actress, and maybe she's been an actress in theater, but it's not like widely known, or maybe like in an indie movie that it's not widely known, but then they give her this role, this iconic one, like a iconic role, and then she blows up.
So I mean, this is Marvel and Disney's opportunity to help shape another potential star who's going to have an impact on our culture, no matter politically, no matter which side you stand on. Like, this is a person who they could create a voice out of, and give that opportunity to, and just really help shape another life. And then by default, the ripple effect and the lives that it impacts around them. Dude, I like the way you think. Like,
It's just an idea. It's an idea.
Yep.
Oh man.
So in chat, Alamo just said that Beyonce is too bootylicious to play Storm.
My girlfriend said
You might be right.
my girlfriend said the same thing. She's like she's too Beyonce.
She's too Beyonce.
That's what
It
my
makes.
girl said.
I mean, I don't know.
Can you? She may be right, dude. I don't know if I could picture people referring to Beyonce as anything other than Beyonce.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like when Michael Jackson came on Men in Black 3, everyone thought it was a joke, but he really had like a scene where Michael Jackson pops on the screen and it's like, hey, it's Michael Jackson. No, it's Agent whatever. But you know, Michael wanted to be in it so bad.
Yeah.
A role, and it was like, oh, why is Michael Jackson in Men in Black 3?
Well, that was like when Ed Sheeran appeared on an episode of Game of Thrones, and everybody was like, "Oh, it fucked up Game of Thrones because like that's Ed Sheeran."
Yeah, it just doesn't fit, right?
Yeah, it's like, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Because I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Also in chat, Ice Wolf asked me to bring up a story that he remembered, a discussion between him and I when we were at EDC. I think 2018. It might have been, I don't remember which year, but a year or two ago. So EDC brings in roughly 200,000 people, or EDC Vegas brings in roughly 200,000 people a day over a 3-day weekend, right? And I don't know if either of you ever been to EDC?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been to EDC.
So EDC has there's literally 100 reasons you can choose to go, whether it's for the music, for the festival itself. They have a full-blown carnival. If you go for the drug experience, if you go for the social experience, and you're just posting that you're there, there's the gorgeous people. That's another good reason to go.
The art,
dude. Yeah, the art is fantastic. So it was in 2018. Okay. So we were talking about, or I was asking, what they enjoy the most, and everybody was saying their different piece. And for me, when I go, man, there's 300 artists booked, and there's 8 main stages plus these other stages that pop up with artists. I'm like, I don't know even a fraction of these people. So to be able to walk around and then hear different music that you may not be introduced to otherwise, that was one of my favorite pieces. That, and then watching people just absolutely vibe with whatever artist they were watching, whatever surrounding reasons. But when you see a person who's at a concert and they're just feeling what's going on, I think that's one of the most beautiful experiences. And there's not much like it.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that story just made me think of when from a Mexican perspective, when Los Tucanes de Tijuana, who play La Chona, played at the festivals. At first I was like, wait, are they trying to make fun of them? But nah, that just showed that music is so universal, man, that when they were on that stage playing it, of course they played other songs, but when they played the Chona song, just the crowd went crazy. And to give such an iconic or Mexican iconic group that chance to I guess give them their flowers while they're still here, right? At parties they play that, at clubs they still play it, but for them to get a chance to see a young generation of people go crazy to their song, and you're right, just vibe with them, even if people don't know what they're talking about or maybe have never heard of them before, even though they've been around since Jesus, early 90s, maybe late 80s.
Oh yeah.
For them to do that. Or I've also seen on the bill for other festivals like Angeles Azules, which is like a cumbia group.
They were
for them
huge.
to come out and I think it was Coachella they might have done. I can't remember, or Badlands. I can't remember, but for them to have done that and see how the crowd reacts to them, it's crazy. You start seeing how people really can connect through music, no matter what that is. And as a DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me one time, when you DJ, do you just have a playlist? And I'm like, nah. I mean, you have your music and your crates, but it's about reading the people and their vibes. And when you start playing the correct songs, you know, at a party or at a wedding or at a club, their whatever their political views may be, or their or prejudices may be, all that goes out the window when they connect through the correct song, right?
Yep.
And I think that's the power of the DJs as well. So shout out to everyone that DJs watching this or that will watch this. You know, it's a power beyond, you know, what people may think. Honest to God, when the DJ controls the vibe of the room, and it's that power that you feel as soon as you're about to drop a song, or when you're gonna mix a song in, and you see how people react. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, when you're DJing, you control when you want people to dance. You control when people when you want people to take a break and go buy a drink at the bar,
yeah.
or for girls to get their bathroom break when they go like 3 or 4 at a time in the group, based on the music that you play, because you know how they're gonna react.
Exactly.
So it's just crazy. Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if y'all are familiar with the song from Little John, "In the Pit." Okay, so there's this track with Little John, and Little John's gotten a lot more into the heavier side of EDM, like with bass music transitioning from trap and into like more dubstep and some rhythm and stuff like that. So this track, "In the Pit," was banned from a lot of clubs in the US a couple of years back. And I think that, you know, when you talk about the power that a good DJ has, I think a track like this really highlights it, because if you drop this track when a crowd's not feeling it, it's not gonna do shit. But when you drop this track when a crowd's feeling it, it makes the club owners go, "Hey buddy, I'd rather you not do that, because there's a good chance people are actually going to get violent."
Mhm.
And that, being able to make a crowd go, "I'm not feeling it," versus a crowd going, "Fuck yeah, I like what's happening right now, let's break some shit." That's the power that a good DJ has.
That's
Or
true.
the flip side, maybe when you're, you know, different clubs, like maybe a crowd's on edge, and maybe there's been a lot of arguments happening, and maybe the crowd's starting to get a little bit hostile. A good DJ can switch that, introduce music that's going to bring people back down, and get the vibes going in a better direction again. And that's
Hit them with the 90s. Hit them with the 90s.
Yep. Just make them dance.
I can't remember off the top of my head which X-Men had the power to really influence the state of emotions in a room, but like that's a, you know, like artists have used that as a superpower, and that's something that a good DJ has.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you know, I guess a non-banned version of the Pit, which is also another Little John production, by the way. You know, but DJs try to avoid playing this, because if they play it, one, you got to keep up the tempo. Two, some shit might get fucked up at that venue. Is "Tell Me When to Go."
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
Oh yeah.
In California,
Yeah.
in California, especially Northern California, you play "Tell Me When to Go" by E40. People are gonna go wild to this day. You play let's see, Mac Dre. It's gonna be another craziness. I mean, you know.
And
so
the funny
right,
thing that you
but-
mentioned that, is a lot of people do ask for that, and it's like, ah, man, I want to tell you no, but at the same time, I want to tell you yes, that I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
It's a tough call.
No, you're right. I mean, and it's so iconic yet crazy. Like, you know, you think like they just play it in the Bay, but then you start traveling and you play Bay Area music.
Yeah.
And people want to play like Too Short, Blow the Whistle for sure.
Oh yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah. So, then you gotta go down to that tunnel. One time, we were in Lake Tahoe, and we were just there to have fun. Like literally, like my family, my brother, my girl, my cousin, we were all there. We went to Opal. So it's like their like club in Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And DJ Nelson, shout out DJ Nelson from New York. He was out there DJing, So we went out there, and I went up there with him, and he was like, "Oh, shout outs to Jay Cruz, he's in the building." Woo, woo, woo. And then he starts playing Bay Area music. I was like, man, are these? Because Lake Tahoe is so diverse because there's a lot of tourists.
Yeah.
You're like, is this gonna happen? As soon as Tell Me When to Go comes, boom, everyone starts going crazy, right? Same thing in Hawaii, in Honolulu, and Sky. We come to Sky, shout outs to the DJ, whoop, whoop. Next thing you know, they start playing, again, Bay Area music, but now they're throwing in some I Am Sue, and then some LA, some YG comes in. But then you start seeing people just go from like regular two-step, like, I don't know, where Hawaii we're vibing to, all right, watch out, I'm going crazy. And yeah, it's just insane the power that has. Right?
Yeah. That's so
It
true,
really
man.
is. Dude, so I heard that you had some more music queued up that you wanted to share with us.
Sure, yeah. I got some tracks that I can share with you guys. They're not completed yet at all, but we can definitely listen to some. Let's see. Like this one is going to be more like of a summer vibe. Now that we're in summer, but not a party vibe. More of like, you guys let me know what you guys think. Yeah,
okay.
Like late night, poolside or by the beach, chilling. You know, like that vibe that you get, or at the lake, where like it's later, like the sun's coming down and
Okay.
you're kind of winding down. That type of vibe. That's what I hear. You guys let me know what you guys hear.
All right.
Here, it's queuing up.
Yeah, already I feel
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
Una noche de verano, una noche de verano, cuando te conocí, una noche de verano, una noche de verano, cuando te conocí.
Yeah. So the lyrics are just like the little hook part that I've been working on is just kind of like it was a summer night when I met you.
That's a
Yeah,
chorus.
it's just that vibe. Yeah, it's just like little vibe again. It's like it's reggaeton.
Yeah.
It's not up tempo. It's like a 90 beats per minute. So it's not I mean, you can turn it up if you really like, but it's just a vibe, like, you know what I mean? Driving down.
Yeah, you're chilling.
What you guys think?
Oh, yeah, I like it, man.
It was good, man.
I can feel like being poolside or on a beach. I can also feel like
with the drink,
like in the evening time, cruising around with the windows down, just enjoying wherever we're at. You know, taking a break from all of the mental stress that's going on in our lives right now.
For real.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. And then this is more of a. The lyrics are, the song is going to be called Hasta el Fin. And this it translates to
the end.
Till the end. The end. And it's gonna be the vibe. This is for the ladies, but without being all derogatory. So this one's gonna be to help empower. Like my whole point for this one's gonna be to help empower. And I don't have the lyrics recorded yet, but I'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's about empowerment, about telling a girl, you know, a lot of the times, you know, they're afraid to get into a relationship because they're scared. They don't know if it's gonna work out or if you're gonna like them because of whatever you might have heard, especially like in college, right? Like, oh my God, you know, you heard this about me or you heard that about me or whatever the case may be. And this song is like, listen, man, I fell in love with you and I don't care. I don't care what people have told me about you. I don't care what even your friends or social media says is talking about you. I just like you. I want to be with you. I want to learn about you. What's popping with you? But I'm giving them like that trap vibe. So like a slower trap vibe with guitar. So it starts with a electric guitar, just a little riff. Right, just a little riff. And then
okay. I can vibe to this.
And then it starts building up.
Yeah.
Right now it's just like the little hi-hat, a little bit, and then more. now it's picking up.
Yep.
Now the hi-hats are picking up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a build up. So that's the instrumental in the background. Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
No, I really like that one. I like that
It's
beat.
different.
Yeah. Well, it's completely different from the other one, but yeah, I really enjoy that type of style. Yeah.
And then this one is a song that this artist named Chuma from Mexico. He's gonna be releasing soon.
That's the one you're featured on.
Yeah, I'm featured on this. Is again way different. So it's like I think I've showed you like different parameters, right?
Yeah.
This is more of like a party song. It's called Tequila, and he's just talking about like how people have drinking tequila, having a good time.
Yeah.
So
it's my kind of song.
Ella baila reggaetón, para arriba, para abajo, para el centro. Tiene todo el veneno. Fondo, se toma todo para adentro. Dice que quiere que el DJ le ponga la buena para la loquera. La nena está bien buena, pero no es buena la nena. Le gusta tomar, le gusta bracear, le gusta pelear. Es una experta en el tumbao, en las caderas, de la balao, rompe la regla. Y toma tequila ella.
Yeah, that's a good song to mix with.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, and I just took this opportunity because again, from the party songs, I've been kind of taking a little break from.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck it, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. And since this crowd is more of a like in Mexico, right, in Latin America, I was like, all right, I need to give them a little bit of sauce, and I was like, this is an up-tempo party song. I think the BPM is like 125.
Yeah. I was going to say 128, but it sounds around the 120s.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, we got to give them with some club vibes. And Lil Jon came back. So Lil Jon, man, shout outs to you and your club shit. But off the wall, what is it? Get Low.
Yeah,
classic,
Get Low.
Right?
Yep.
Classic. So I sampled them at the beginning, but in Spanish. So when he goes to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drip down, okay, I'd said it in Spanish, but then I flipped the rest of the vibes, but I sampled them in the background. So I go from de la ventana a la pared to the wall, something, solo se vive una vez, which is like, we only live once, and then I switch it. What, watch.
That's dope.
That is fucking dope.
That's
right
dope,
there,
huh?
That's nice.
Damn, dude, that's creative right there, man. I like that.
But there's a little vibe here and there, just mixing it up. The diversity of the music, but keeping it like true to like the type of music that I do, the type of vibe that I like to go for on the vocals, and I always like to get them with like a twist, man. Like if it with punchlines, but with like a purpose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Dude, I love it.
I've liked everything I've heard so far.
Yeah. Seriously. And I know that it's a struggle right now trying to like we were talking about earlier, it's a struggle trying to make the type of music that you want to make when you don't know the next time you're going to be at a club or at a bar or wherever on a Saturday night at 1:30, which is when I expect to hear the tequila song, Saturday night, 1:30 a.m. and like, boom, when everybody's really feeling it. You don't know when it's going to be that you'll be in that experience again, but there's people who are still trying to create that experience, whether it be at home or they're just vibing out, and that's that piece, for 3.5 minutes, they're finding that piece that's allowing them to go back out there and face the day to day and face their week to week. And I think that people need it, people deserve it. As artists, I think that we need it and we deserve it. And I commend you, man, for finding the balance. I commend you for taking a step back and thinking about how your actions impact those around you. and for gradually bringing yourself back into it. I know I've mentioned it before, but for DJ and myself, and it's been difficult. Many days over the last couple of weeks, it's been difficult to get home after work, after reading the news, watching videos, hearing firsthand accounts of what's going on, and then going, how am I going to go live playing games when there's so much shit going on in the world? And then for me, I was mentioning to you, but I've had a couple of times where somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey man, are you getting ready to go live? Because I'm having a really, really bad day, and I'm really hoping that you and DJ are going to be there to help me recenter or reset or whatever it is." They said that's what they're getting at. And on those days when I'm like, fuck it, I don't think I can do this, it reminds me that everybody deserves that outlet. And I realize that not everybody gets that outlet, not everybody has that opportunity, but for those who are fighting the good fight, if we can be there to help you get recentered, then that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man. Thank you for bringing that up. Like we were talking about earlier, you guys doing this even brings me like to a certain level of just a vibe to get ready and get these songs ready to just release, to get back in the zone, to get back in focus of, all right, man, this there's a lot of craziness going on, so we got to give people some type of something positive to look forward to, or if it just helps playing like a song or a podcast in the background in the midst of this craziness, going left and right, all sorts of things happening in the world, and why not? And shout outs to what's that dude from The Office, Jim?
What's his
Jim
name?
Halpert. He did like the Silence movie. What is it? I can't remember his name, but Jim from The Office, man. Shout out to you because I don't know if you guys have seen. He started a YouTube channel when the whole COVID-19 situation first started, and he called it SGN, Some Good News, and it started just him from home. But that show got so crazy popular in the midst of like a couple of days, just because instead of focusing on, we all know what's happening, right? All the craziness. But he started showing clips like that he would just find on in the internet, or that people would send him or tag him on, of cool things, happy things, positive things that were happening at that time as well, to try and give people some type of happiness and hope. He's actually the guy who threw the first streaming high school graduation, and then the junior prom for the kids.
Okay.
He's the guy that started, he's the guy that put all that together, and then of course there were a whole bunch of them afterwards.
Yeah.
But he put that together on SGN. He got like Oprah Winfrey to come out and give like their commencement speech for graduations and like all kinds of craziness. So you guys are right. Like this is exactly what people need sometimes, just kind of a break from it all, just for their mental stability and health, man. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, and for yourself, if what we're doing right now, if this hour is helping you recenter, I know that has an impact that goes beyond music. I know that going back into your, walking back out into the Capitol, I know that becomes tiresome. I also know that when you can walk back out there feeling refreshed and feeling like yourself, it makes you 10 times more ready to fight the fight that needs to be fought.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And for Emily helps us out here, it's John Krasinski.
John, yes, John Krasinski. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, for sure, guys. Man, this is great. Thank you so much, man.
Dude,
no problem, Jay. Thank you for showing up, man.
It has been absolutely wonderful getting to know you better, hearing some of your music, hearing about your background, and I think that for anybody who's looking for it, without us really digging into your story, I think that you shared enough to know a bit about your background, and that you came up, and you came up, in an area that's centered around minorities. You did what you're passionate about, and you let that passion drive you into the two places you are now, right? In both your artistic side of life and your traditional professional side of life, if you will. And I think that's a really important story. And I hope that there's at least a few people listening right now that will be able to take some positives away from that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're the true definition of started from the bottom, and now you're here.
And now you're here. Yeah, more like started from the border. Now we're here.
There you go, man.
Shout out to Little Moco, bro. He actually has a song called that. It's crazy. You should see it. Like a music video.
Yeah.
Shout out Little Moco. Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard of Little Moco. I'm not really into his music, but
Me neither. And Little Moco, my bad, bro. I'm not. But your videos are crazy. Like, you should see the started from the bottom sketch video that he did.
Yeah.
But he called it started from the border, and it's hilarious. It's with Chingo Bling's featured on it too.
Okay.
Chingo Bling is hilarious.
Yeah.
Too. I think the first song I ever heard from him was "I've Got My Papers."
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Taco Shop.
And fun fact, Chingo Bling is actually a college graduate too.
No way. Awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's exactly how he created his Chingo Bling character, and then the whole lifestyle behind it, like his Chingo Bling, all kinds of things. Yeah. Yeah. He's crazy too.
That's really interesting, man. I had no idea.
Yeah. I know, right? It's like, oh, what the hell? Chingo Bling? What?
So where did that come from?
Right. It's wild. Yeah. What game did you say you had in mind of playing?
So, are we gonna play some Quantum League, assuming that we can get into matches?
Yeah, we are. I think that'd be the best game to start off with. But we want to play a game with you, Jay. It's called What the Fact.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready to play?
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna ask you a few questions here. 10 questions. They're either gonna be true or they're gonna be false.
Okay.
And you're gonna determine whether they're true or false. Each question is gonna be worth 500 DJ bucks for our chat, or my chat, I should say. So if you get them right, the chat's gonna earn a 500 DJ buck raffle. If you happen to get them all correct, I'm gonna throw in a t-shirt for you and X.
And I'm going to throw in one of our mugs for you. I think it'd look really good on your desk back there.
It really would.
I hope so.
It really would.
I love mugs. Fun fact, I love mugs.
Nice.
Do you have a mug collection?
I'm trying to grow it because they keep breaking.
All right, man. Well, X, how do you want to do this, man? You want to do 1 and 1 each question? One question you, one question me?
Yeah, I think that would be good. I just need to get them pulled back up, apparently.
All right.
So before we get started, though, hey, so everybody listening, whether it's on the Twitch live feed or later on in YouTube, let us know if you like this game, so that way we can determine, if we want to continue playing it.
Correct.
And Jay, you too, man. Like, if you at the end of this, if you're like, if it was okay, like, don't feel bad and tell us.
Yeah.
No, it could have been better.
This game was a piece of
So
shit,
far,
bro. Don't do it
everything's great.
again.
I can't wait.
Just let us know, man. Honest truth. All right. Well,
All right.
First question. You ready?
All right, ready.
All right, man. True or false? A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto.
True.
True. That is true. That's 500.
A single strand of spaghetti is called spaghetto.
Spaghetto.
That sounds like something Will Smith would have said on a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, the la ghetto. The la ghetto.
Yes, de la ghetto. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so since it ends with an I and the end of the word, it indicates it's a plural. So what if it has an O or an A in Italian? That's it makes it singular.
That makes sense.
All right. So for your second question, true or false, an adolescent owl is called a novice.
False.
That's true.
He's a smart guy. He's a
No,
smart guy.
No, that is false.
It's true. It's true that it's false. Yeah.
We got you. Yeah, because novice is like a beginner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a baby owl is actually called an owlet.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, question number 3. Pointing your car keys remote to your skull increases the range. True or false? You know, car keys.
That sounds dangerous.
Like this.
True.
That is true.
Are you serious? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That is true.
Yep.
And that's how I
True.
got through college, guys.
So yeah, so the fluid in your head actually makes for a good conductor for the actual remote, so that way it increases the range.
That's wild.
It's crazy,
So when
huh?
you're walking through the parking lot and you can't figure out where you parked, doing this will help you get a better range.
Perfect.
Weird. So, question number 4. The Nobel Prize for Physics has been awarded to a scientist who proved that a tree falling in the woods really does make a sound.
False.
That is false.
Oh my! Did you let him look at these?
It would be absolutely ridiculous if somebody got a Nobel Prize for proving that.
Hey,
Yeah.
we don't know that, okay? We don't know. Can you imagine?
So this next question from DJ is honestly one of my favorite questions from this list.
Perfect.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, true or false? Outer space smells like steak.
False. There's nothing in space.
That is actually true.
What?
Yeah.
It blew my mind too. I was like, "Whoa, there's nothing up there
How do we know
though.
that? Who just stuck their head out and said, "Smells like steak"? That's crazy.
Well, it's
Okay,
funny.
I guess I don't.
It says that after they do spacewalks, that's when they can identify that smell of like they describe it as like a hot metal or searing steak.
Is that not like their skin though?
It might be.
Their skin just
I
frying.
think it
Wet.
raises a lot of questions, but like apparently astronauts actually describe the smell of space as steak,
Steak,
and
yeah.
that makes space all the more appetizing.
Right?
So not bad so far. 4 out of 5 questions right.
Yeah, it's
So
good.
question number 6: Gold nuggets were named after chicken nuggets, not the other way around.
False.
Yeah, that's false. I was like, gold nuggets have been a thing for much longer than chicken nuggets, I'm sure.
Right.
They had to have been.
What came first, the nugget or the chicken?
Yeah.
The nugget, apparently. All right. Question number 6: true or false? Water makes different pouring sounds depending on its temperature.
Oh, true.
Dude, you're pretty smart, man. Not gonna lie, pretty smart. So I guess the heat changes the thickness. I'm actually a pretty good guesser myself. So the reason it makes a different sound is because of the heat changes the thickness and the viscosity of the water. So I guess it makes like a different sound when it hits whatever surface it's splashing against.
That makes sense. It's pretty interesting.
It is.
So question number 8: true or false? One of the rings of Saturn is made up of pure silver dust.
Oh, that's true. I think that's true, right? True.
That's false.
It sounds like it could be true.
They would have been trying to collect it and bring it back.
Dude, that's so true. They could have sent like a little drone or something just to collect silver all the way around, bring it back.
They're all gas. I keep forgetting they're all gas.
They're all
I was
gas.
being hopeful. I was like, hopefully it is silver.
Yep. One of them's made entirely of diamonds. No, that's false. They're all made out of gas.
All made out of gas. All right, question number 9: true or false? The first copy of the Oxford English Dictionary is missing the word dictionary.
True.
False, my friend.
That one seems like it could have been true,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they gotta be really stupid.
The word dictionary was in the first dictionary.
Yep.
So, and number 10, cutting down a cactus in Arizona can put you in jail for up to 25 years.
True or false?
Does that include your backyard?
I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna assume yes.
Yeah,
True.
True.
that is true. So be careful.
If you cut down a cactus in Arizona, you can be penalized up to 25 years in jail. It is similar to cutting down a protected tree species.
That's crazy.
That's
It really is.
insane, right? You're gonna
In
look at them a lot different now.
Yep. In Texas, if you pick a bluebonnet, you can be arrested.
No
That's
way.
great. See, it's good to know these things.
Jesus.
Like in Hawaii, we went to Turtle Bay, but you can't touch the turtles. It's I think it's a $25,000 fine if you touch the turtles, because
Holy.
apparently the turtles over there, the human touch completely destroys their reproductive system, like the oils in our hands.
What? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm over here floating, and I'm like, what if they come and touch you? They're like, that's different. But if you touch them, if
Yeah.
you touch the shell, because they're not going to come and touch you with the shell. Like if they touch you or smell you or I don't know what they do, it's cool. But if you actively go and grab it, then you go to jail. Yeah. I mean, you get a fine
Wow.
or something.
Jay, did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yes, I have.
There's an episode of Parks and Rec where a member of a foreign government comes and visits their park, and he's explaining to them like all of the different things you can go to jail for in their country. And he's like, dude, overcooking chicken, straight to jail. Undercooking fish, straight to jail. Like it's just like this whole list. And I'm like, dude, honestly, it's so funny because that sounds ridiculous. But then you actually look at the things you can go to jail for in America that most people don't know about it. And most of it's just like antiquated laws that nobody gives a shit about anymore. But there's so many things that you can get in trouble for stateside that most people just don't know about.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh,
So
man.
Icewolf actually said in the chat, he's like, I'll donate the money, send him the mug, even though he got one wrong. So
yeah, I got like 3 wrong, but thank
you.
you.
You're getting a mug.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Can't wait.
Yeah, you actually won 3,000 DJ bucks for my chat. So that's gonna be raffled off to them. All thanks to Jay.
Very nice. They'll appreciate that.
Yup.
Well, Jay, I think that we're nearing the end of our podcast, dude. I'm so happy that you joined us. Like this has been a really nice conversation, really incredible getting to know you more. And honestly, it went different than I was expecting it to. Not that I wasn't already excited, but you're an amazing person, man. And maybe at some point in time in the future, it'd be really cool if you decided to come and chill with us again.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. Again, thank you guys for the opportunity. I loved having this conversation. Whenever you guys want me to join again, just let me know and we'll do that. And appreciate everything you guys are doing. It's very professionally done. I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
Down to the condenser mics. Yeah, I mean, great job, guys. And whatever I can do to help or whatever, whatever I can do, let me know. I'm only a DM away.
Cool. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much.
Awesome, man. DJ?
All right, guys. Well, if you guys have any questions you guys want to ask, either me, X, or even Jay, drop it down in the comment section in the bottom. But we're gonna end here. You guys want to like our YouTube channel, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like it, subscribe.
Yep. Same thing for the guy below. We'll have the links to Jay's socials, so make sure you drop him a follow, drop him a like, listen to some of his music, guys. And try and find that reset that everybody deserves. So appreciate the time, man, and I'll definitely be following up with you and just pay you some thanks again later, dude. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys. Stay safe.
All right, Jay. Take it easy, man.
Bye.